My child, stop for a moment, just breathe. I know the road you've walked. I see the silent battles you've carried, the hidden tears, the times you felt utterly alone. Your quiet strength, your refusal to turn away even when it was difficult, has not been overlooked. Heaven has been watching, and I am proud of the one you have become through it all. This moment, right now, is no accident. This connection is divinely purposed. You are standing on the edge of a holy transition, a season I have ordained for your elevation. But before the rise, there is a deep revelation, a clarity about why I am lifting you now. There are sacred truths I will unfold for you, my beloved child, insights into your journey, your resilience, the unseen obedience that has brought you here. Understand this. These truths are not for everyone. They are specifically for those whose spirit is called to receive them, those I have truly chosen to hear this message at this time. Only those who are meant to hear this, who feel the pull in their spirit, will stay until the end. Stay with me. What I am about to reveal is for you, if you are ready to receive it. Understand this, my child. That inner fortitude, that unwavering spirit, I have taken note. I have been watching. And I, your God, find favor with you, not only for reaching this place, but for the individual you remain throughout it all, even when life attempted to wear you down. These are not merely comforting words, my child. This is a clear truth meant for you. You are stepping into a distinct season of transformation, a time of being elevated. Before you ascend, understanding will arrive. This is why you are here now. I will reveal aspects of why I am elevating you at this juncture, not simply as a reward, but as recognition. Recognition for those nights you wept, yet still spoke words of belief. For the trials you faced and still stood firm. For the difficult periods you navigated and still maintained faith. I am not just leading you out. I am raising you higher. Not everyone will feel drawn to remain with these words. That is how you will discern this is intended for you. Only those I am calling to this moment will sense it deeply within and stay connected. And for those who do, they will discover clear insight, a sense of direction, and a certain knowledge of who they truly are in me. These are not just sounds or pictures, my precious child. These are living expressions, a reflection from my heart revealing your true identity. I invite you now to answer, not only with your mind, but with all that you are. If something inside you confirms these words, do not dismiss that inner prompting. That feeling is a signal, a link between you and me. It is your spirit declaring, I am ready, I am aligned with you. I accept this elevation, not with pride, but with a humble heart, grateful and for your purpose. And for each one who expresses their heart, their trust, their belief in response, I see you. You are not speaking into emptiness. I see you. You are not walking this journey alone. Remain connected to these words. They hold what I have already begun within you. As you absorb these words, new understanding will unfold. More truth will become clear. A new path forward will open within you. I have seen your faithfulness, my cherished child, especially during the times of darkness. There is a kind of faithfulness not visible to the world. It happens in quiet spaces, away from the view of others. My beloved one, you have walked this path. I saw when you were faithful, not when things were obvious or simple, but when you felt confused, solitary, surrounded by questions without answers. You agreed to follow when nothing was certain. You took steps forward when you could not see the way ahead. You were not seeking rewards or praise from others. You were simply following a quiet inner leading. And I took notice. Your faithfulness is remarkable not because you followed me when everything made sense, but because you remained true when nothing was clear. There was no obvious plan laid out, no loud voice from above, no visible signs, no outward proof. Often, all you felt was a strong sense of what you must do, and a gentle, familiar urging from my spirit saying, "Go," and you went. You answered a call that others could not perceive. That is you, building quietly, being faithful in uncertainty. You were working on something unseen, with no external sign. Others may have questioned you, but being faithful is not about others' understanding. It is about being aligned with me. Remember the times you could have chosen an easier route? The moments when giving up seemed like the only logical choice? When your cries seemed unheard and you felt utterly alone? There were days you rose not from personal strength, but because you would not turn away from the one who called you. And in those times, even your weakness was an offering to me. Even your uncertainty was held in deep respect for me. Those around you may have thought you were confident, that you knew exactly what you were doing. But they did not see the tears shed in private, the internal struggle between believing and being afraid. They did not hear the quiet questions you asked of me. Are you sure? They did not see how close you were to breaking. But I saw it, my child, and I value it deeply. You were not acting for others, you were simply holding on. The world applauds what it sees, but I favor a heart given over to me. Being faithful in the dark requires more than just effort. It requires deep trust in me. You were not following a set method. You were not seeking clear answers. You were holding tightly to my presence. You did not need me to show you everything. You simply needed to know I was with you. And when you knew that, it was enough. Your agreement to follow was not based on what you would gain. It was based on your connection with me. I know this path was not simple. Perhaps those close to you did not understand. Perhaps even your own family questioned you. You gave up things, opportunities, ease, perhaps even people. There were costs you paid that no one else will ever fully grasp, yet you were faithful anyway. You risked much, not knowing the outcome, only knowing that I had called you for this specific time. That is not mere chance. That is the path I set for you, and you have walked it. Let this be understood clearly. This elevation you are entering is not by chance. It is not random. It is the outcome of your unseen faithfulness. It comes from what was done quietly. The world will soon see what you and I have established together in the hidden seasons, and they will be surprised. But you will know this did not happen quickly. This came from being faithful. And now, the way forward is opening. Opportunities are shifting. I am releasing what was withheld until you were prepared. Not just outwardly, but in your heart, in your posture before me, in your faithfulness. You did not force this to occur. You did not attempt to control it. You did not hurry to gain favor. You waited. You trusted. You allowed me to refine you. And I, in my kindness, am now saying, "Well done, my child." This elevation is more than just being raised up. It is a declaration. A truth spoken to all unseen realms that says, "This one belongs to me." They followed me, not for what they could receive, but out of devotion. Not for ease, but because of our bond. Therefore, do not be taken aback when your circumstances start shifting, when good things arrive in ways you did not anticipate, when your ability to influence others expands, and you become more visible. This unfolding isn't random. It flows directly from your steady heart. My beloved one, recall those periods when your true strength wasn't measured by outward success, but simply by holding firm. The dark hours felt unending. The quiet mornings felt as though I had withdrawn from you. You called out for clarity, for direction, for even a small sign. Yet it felt as though my voice was silent. There were moments you peered into the stillness, questioning, "Where are you?" When the quiet seemed to drown out my assurances, and the sound of your sincere calls was all that echoed back. Yet, you did not turn aside. You held your ground. My child, your trust wasn't built on witnessing wonders, but on facing moments of uncertainty. It wasn't shaped by sudden breakthroughs, but during the quiet times of waiting. You weren't just living by faith. You were clinging on with only a faint echo of my guidance and a deep knowing within you that whispered, "Even if I seem distant, I am still here." Consider those who pressed onward through challenges after years of hardship, of pain, of delay. They had no special invitation, no guarantee of success, just a deep conviction that a simple connection would suffice. That turning point didn't come from obvious favor. It came from persistent trust. That describes you, my cherished child. You saw others receive what you were still seeking. You celebrated their blessings while your own hopes felt unmet. You smiled through your ache and expressed devotion through your hurt. You kept showing up even when nothing changed. While others found clear indications, you were tested in silence. But you did not break. You did not flee. You did not turn from me in bitterness. Instead, you declared, "Even if I face complete loss, I will still place my hope in Him." Anyone can offer praise when they have the answer. Anyone can believe when opportunities are clear. Yet it requires a far deeper reliance to lift your hands in the darkness and declare, "Even in this place, at this very time, you are still good." And that, my beloved, is what distinguishes you. That is why you are chosen. You weren't serving me for the outcomes you could gain. You were serving me out of the bond we share. You weren't praying to compel results. You were praying to deepen our connection. You didn't need to feel my presence to remain true to me, because your trust wasn't based on fleeting feelings. It was rooted in deep understanding. Every time you opened the sacred writings when your spirit felt parched, I noticed. Whenever you softly spoke, "My faith remains," through your tears, I heard. Every time you entered a gathering wondering if I even saw you but still offered praise, I smiled. You kept your heart receptive in a difficult season. You remained receptive during a season that sought to harden you. You trusted even when trusting felt like sorrow. And here is a truth you must grasp, my precious one. The silence wasn't proof of my absence. It was proof of your inner strength growing. I wasn't ignoring you. I was trusting you, shaping you, helping you mature. Since you could hold fast in the quiet, you would be able to carry my light when circumstances became public. If you could stand firm when unseen, you would not falter when watched by all. If you could offer devotion in the shadows, you wouldn't be overwhelmed by the attention. The silence wasn't a penalty. It was preparation. You weren't being left alone. You were being made firm. And now that this work is nearly complete, heaven is preparing to speak again, clearly and powerfully. Get ready, my beloved child. I'm about to respond with clear favor. Things will happen that make people wonder how. Opportunities will arise that you didn't pursue. Doors will open without your effort. The quiet time that proved you is now set to be the platform for your most certain and visible testimony. Now let's talk about staying pure when the world encourages compromise, my cherished child. In a time when anything sacred is ridiculed, when yielding is seen as normal and living a life of integrity is dismissed as old-fashioned or too rigid, you made a choice that few dared to make. You chose the difficult path. When the world shouted, "Lower your standards," you listened for the quiet whisper that said, "Be set apart, for I am set apart." You did more than simply hear the call. You acted upon it. You had every chance to abandon your beliefs. You could have blurred your lines, excused your choices, and quieted your inner voice to fit in with others. You could have sought approval, presented a false version of yourself, or traded your true voice for visibility. But you didn't. Your stance was based on what was right, not on how simple it was. While the world celebrated what looked like freedom but was corruption, you understood its true nature: bondage, simply packaged differently. You were tempted, yes. You faced pressure. You heard that your principles were seen as extreme, your values as too rigid, uncomplicated, or even unachievable. But what others mocked as excessive, I saw as sacred. You kept your inner self clean, not so others would see you, but so that you could see. See clearly, see through deception, see my face even when temptation created a haze. Inner cleanliness, my child, isn't just about what you refuse. It's about what you protect. You weren't just guarding your physical self. You were guarding your spirit, your thoughts, your intentions, your inner light. When others chased fleeting attention, you remained hidden. When others flirted with compromise, you turned away. And when wrong desires, whether for pleasure, position, or influence, came calling, you didn't entertain them. You closed the door, secured it, and placed a sign on the front declaring, "This is holy ground." Your self-control wasn't weakness, it was strength. Every time you denied a selfish urge, you stood against the adversary. Whenever you privately declined, the unseen realms marked it as an agreement with my plan for you. You fought quietly in the unseen, with no one watching and no applause. And still you prevailed. You fled from temptation rather than betray my trust. Your choice for purity was not based on convenience. You stayed pure because you are reserved for my purpose. Even when you faced unfair judgment and restriction, I still brought you forward when the moment was right. Your uprightness did not prevent the difficulty, but it prepared you for a place of impact. And that is what I am doing with you, my cherished one. Let me be clear. My favor isn't based on how you appear to others. I elevate based on the truth of who you are inside. Skill can get you started, but only faithfulness sustains your place. That is why you are being lifted. Not just for your talents, but for your purity of heart. You have shown that you can be trusted with greater things because you didn't abandon what you believe for attention. You didn't swap your life's purpose for temporary notice. You remained true, even when unseen by others. And now, I am preparing to honor you openly. The one with a life lived honestly and a spirit kept clear, that is you. You followed the right path, even when difficult. You held fast to your beliefs. You did not waver in your position. And now the uprightness you guarded privately is opening doors for you publicly. I am seeking those whose word is solid and whose heart is true in this time, not just those with influence, but those with unwavering honesty. I am raising up those in positions of guidance who won't be swayed by gain, who will not follow passing fads or let authority change their true aim. You have shown that you can represent me without bringing dishonor, that you can ascend without losing respect for what is sacred, that you can prosper without being drawn into darkness. My child, the good things I am bringing aren't merely big. They carry a special kind of goodness. They aren't just for show. They mean more because I see the truth in you. I know you will value me, the giver, above the good things I provide. You kept your heart right not to please others, but out of respect for me. And now, my abundance is ready to flow into you without limit. My beloved, you clung to what is good even while everything around you sought to drag you under. I'm not just observing, I am responding. You offered kindness to others when you were the one who needed it most. My precious child, there were times when you had every reason to withdraw, times when your spirit felt low, your strength was tested, and your quiet cries seemed unheard. Yet even in those moments of personal emptiness, you still offered kindness to others. You reached out a hand when you needed one yourself. You spoke comfort when your own heart felt troubled. That wasn't simply your own effort. That was my power moving within you. I saw the nights you wept until sleep came, only to rise and pray for someone else's burdens. I saw the days you were barely managing, yet others leaned on you. They saw a smile, but I saw the effort it took. They didn't know the price you paid to support them, the quiet sacrifice behind your encouragement, the tiredness you kept hidden. But I knew. I saw it all, and I remembered. Your actions weren't for show or expectation of return. You didn't love because it was simple. You loved because that is who I am, and you showed that part of me. A heart like that touches my spirit. You didn't just share from your surplus. You gave out of love for me. Even when you had little, you still gave. That is not mere habit. That is genuine commitment. You gave when you could have held back. You brought good to others even while waiting for your own turn. You were a source of life to others even when you felt empty. And while the world applauds what is seen and heard, I found joy in your quiet loyalty, your unseen prayers for others, your hidden acts of giving, the gentle words you spoke that made a difference without seeking credit. You weren't chasing praise. You were giving your true self. At times, all you had left was a silent prayer, a simple question of care, a kind expression, and you still offered it. That was not weakness. That was power hidden from view. That was me working through you. And now, the season for receiving has come. What is coming isn't just a wish fulfilled. It is something you are prepared to hold. The reality is, you didn't merely provide items. You offered comfort, peace, and anticipation of good things. Because while others complained about their needs, you asked how you could help another. While others became uncaring, you stayed warm-hearted. While the world taught self-interest, you showed true care for others. You acted on my behalf in the world even when your own body felt tired. And I saw it all. You brought hope to hard situations. You showed goodness to those whose hearts were closed. You chose to forgive instead of holding on to pain. You offered understanding where others judged. And now I am ready to give back to you, not just a little, but in full. This is not just an idea. This is what is happening for you now. The people who relied on you without considering your own well-being are about to see me showing favor to you. Those who didn't see your inner fortitude are about to see the power that comes from me. This is not about settling scores. This is me making things right. Now you are becoming the very good you shared. You are becoming a source of blessing. Where you are, things will shift for the better. What you say will matter. Your spirit will bring quietness. Not because you fought for recognition, but because you were true to me when unseen. And as you move into the next season I have planned, my beloved one, you won't just be a person arriving. You will be the solution needed. A way for new life to flow, one who carries my presence, a living picture of trust in me. My precious child, you didn't try to be like everyone else. You held fast to being different for me. You have walked a journey few can grasp. From the start, there was something special about you, a deep spirit, a sacred light within that could not be put out. Even when you tried to conceal it, to disappear into the crowd, to silence your true self, or dim your capabilities so others felt less challenged, the light within you remained bright. You were not made to chase what is popular or seek the approval of many. You were set apart for a specific task, and deep in your heart, you always knew this truth. My child, you held fast to belief even when everything around you seemed to contradict it. You navigated periods that made no sense to the world, difficult stretches that would have caused many others to falter, losses that might have silenced someone else entirely, low points where most would have simply given up. But you did not. You pressed forward, not because the journey was easy, but because your reliance on me was stronger than what you could see with your eyes. You faced the challenges, the setbacks, the disappointments, the delays, and the hardships. And still, a quiet certainty within you affirmed, "My God remains in control." You observed the facts. You felt the weight of it all pressing down. You heard what others said, those you looked to for guidance, even people you trusted. You heard the assessments. You stood in trying circumstances. You received difficult news, and none of it resembled what I had promised you. Yet your spirit would not yield. Your heart would not abandon hope. When everything visible declared it was finished, something unseen within you proclaimed it was just beginning. This was not being naive. This was not pretending things were fine. This was a deep foundation of trust. The kind of trust that believes I will provide, even when there is no apparent path. It was trust that confronted what seemed impossible and did not waver. That is the kind of trust you have carried. More than just believing I exist, it was a profound dependence on who I am. You didn't merely believe I am real. You believed what I spoke to you. My words were not just ink on a page for you. They became woven into your very being, your source of strength. There were days when your reality felt like it was crumbling, days when resources were depleted, when health did not improve, when a door you had prayed for closed unexpectedly. And still, my child, you offered thanks. You lifted your heart to me, not because the situation changed, but because your trust refused to. You spoke of wholeness when pain lingered. You spoke of freedom while feeling confined. You whispered hope when surrounded by despair. Every time a situation appeared to be a failure, you countered it with what I had promised. You did not wait for the obstacle to move before you addressed it. You spoke to it as if my power had already moved it. You did not wait for restrictions to lift before you sang. You sang, and your trust began to loosen what held you captive. And whether you fully understood it or not, that kind of trust affects not only your immediate circumstances, but also the unseen realm. While others required visible proof before they would offer praise, you praised until I brought forth the evidence. Your expression of faith was not merely a reaction. It was a declaration of what you knew I would do. You were not simply enduring. You were believing me while you endured. And that makes all the difference. Anyone can weather a storm when they have shelter, but you stood firm in difficult times with no visible protection, holding solely onto my word and your unwavering trust in me. And I saw it all, my beloved one. Do you grasp what happens when you speak trust, even when circumstances contradict it? It aligns things in the unseen. It reminds the forces of darkness that they cannot prevail against my purpose. True trust is not passive. It is power. It shifts atmospheres. It influences outcomes. It creates a forward movement that no human effort can replicate. It is the kind that makes things happen that seem impossible. And that is what you carried in the darkest times. Your trust went beyond my capacity. You believed I would certainly act, despite delays, confusion, or the need to praise with tears and claim victory while difficulties remained. You never stopped expecting me to be me. That is why what is unfolding now, my cherished child, is not just compensation for what was difficult. It is confirmation of what you believed. You lived as if my promise was already real. You expressed gratitude as if the resolution was already in your possession. And in the unseen realm, that was the truth. You walked by evidence the world could not see, and I took note. So be ready, my precious child, because the time you are entering will not just match your trust. It will go beyond it. Not because you forced things to happen, but because you trusted me through what seemed impossible. Because when the circumstances said no, you said, with God all things are possible. All this time, holding on to faith when things were hard, you also chose a different path. My child, in a world where many strive to gain attention, to be heard above the noise, to earn praise, you chose a different way. You had every valid reason to defend yourself, every justification to answer those who criticized you. My precious child, you possessed the clear understanding, the inner certainty of what was true. Others spoke words that twisted your meaning, showing disrespect towards your name, yet you did not respond in kind. You did not descend to their level. You did not strike out to prove a point or stand up to protect your own standing. Instead, you selected a path requiring far greater strength. You chose quietness. It takes inner resolve to remain silent when your name is challenged. It demands inner discipline to not retaliate when someone aims at your character. You understood you had the power to win the confrontation, change how things were seen, or expose the lie, but you refrained. You turned away, not because you lacked strength, but because you possessed wisdom. That kind of quietness is not empty silence at all. It is a powerful statement in the unseen realm. It is the sound of one who knows their identity with me and feels no need to display it to others. That stillness was not passive. It held deep strength. You were not detached. You were disciplined. You were not quiet because you had no voice. You were quiet because you had the insight to know that some disputes are beneath the purpose I have placed upon you. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is knowing who you are in me and choosing not to parade it before others. You did not need to announce the work I was doing within you. You did not make a show of the good things I was accomplishing. You remained stable when others tried to elevate you. You kept your footing when the situation prompted you to elevate yourself by your own means. And that kind of heart posture is fully seen by me. I saw when you had the chance to assert yourself, and instead you yielded, saying, "Let you handle this, Lord." The kind of spirit you have carried, one that waits, one that honors me, one that trusts me enough to hold the outcome. You did not seek approval from people. You did not plead for their acceptance. While others were showcasing accomplishments and pushing forward their own agendas, you were quietly building integrity in secret with me. And now, because you did not chase recognition, recognition is about to find you. This is not merely a concept, it is a principle in my kingdom, and your life is about to demonstrate it. This next phase is not the result of human connections or self-promotion. It is the result of your heart's alignment with me. You remained unseen when you could have stepped forward. You held back judgment when you could have given it in return. You honored me not just with your words, but with your inner growth. And now I am preparing to honor you openly. I saw how you declined opportunities because they did not align with my voice. I took note of the subtle manner in which you remained loyal, unchanging and authentic to your beliefs, even when it meant losing affirmation, sway, or openings. While others strove for positions, you allowed me to establish yours. And now, it is being made firm right before the eyes of those who were certain you wouldn't endure. And the release I am preparing cannot be stopped by what people think, held back by others, or prevented by established ways. The lifting up that is coming will be clear to all because it is not about your name being known. It is about my name being glorified through you. You lived that truth, and now you are stepping into the outcome of it. This is more than just advancement. It publicly shows that I respect those who are modest, that I protect the meek, that I bless those who do not force their way forward, but trust my guidance for their placement. You kept a humble posture when you might have asserted your rights. You kept quiet when you had cause to raise your voice. You remained gracious when you had every reason to boast. And because of that, what is coming will be pure. It will be lasting, and it will carry a power that no person gave you, and no person can take away. My cherished child, if you have stayed with this message through every part, through every quiet confirmation, every echo of truth, then it is not by chance. I have been communicating with you, not simply to bring solace to your spirit, but to assure you that I have seen the journey you have taken, the unseen compliance, the hidden difficulties, the personal costs, the times you chose integrity when unobserved, the instances you stood strong while others gave way, the trust you maintained when situations appeared hopeless, the compassion you extended even when depleted, and the stillness you held when you might have insisted on recognition. Every one of those moments was not without purpose. They were building blocks, building toward a revealing that I am preparing. Your life has not been random. It has been guided by me. What you are stepping into is more than just a new stage. You are stepping into a time of divine showing. This is not simply a time of receiving. It is a time of revealing. I'm not just about to bless you. I'm about to show the depth of your faithfulness. The next step is not merely about gaining more. It is about influence for my purposes. It is not just about being seen. It is about being sent by me. You have endured the stretching. You have grown through the challenges. And now the time is shifting from preparation to presentation of my work in you. Yet, what is your posture now, standing at the threshold of all you have believed me for? First, stay deeply connected to my word. Let my scripture continue to be your firm ground, your direction, your daily sustenance. The very voice that upheld you through hardship will be the one to direct you in this new season. Begin each morning, not with distractions, but by seeking me. Ask me, what do you desire from me today, my beloved one? And truly listen for the answer. Do not just read my words. Allow my words to examine your heart. Second, guard your inner attitude. Pride is subtle. When others speak well of you or recognition comes your way, do not let being praised lead you to think too highly of yourself. Remember what brought you to this place. A heart open to me, a readiness to surrender your own will, a desire to follow my direction. Keep your spirit humble before me, even as I broaden your reach. Speak with me when things are calm. Ask me for strength when it is difficult. Look for me, even when you feel uneasy. Guard your inner self from what is impure. Know why you are doing things, and remain close to me always. Next, let your belief guide your actions right now. This means living as though my word is certain, and I will do what I have said. It means understanding the great value I place on your journey, because it matters deeply to me. Choose your words with care. Share your time freely with others. Be brave in showing goodness. Look for opportunities to help people. Find simple ways your life can honor my purposes. Follow the path I have set for your heart. Connect with someone you have been avoiding. Turn to me for direction. Lift up someone who is down, asking me to help them as if you needed it yourself. My strength is not always seen in grand displays. Often it is found in simply doing what I ask. Also, pay attention to those you keep close. Not everyone who is with you now is meant to travel with you further, and that is right. As I give you wider impact, my child, you will need others near you. Not just those who think like you, but those who will support you when you struggle, who can offer wise counsel, who help you become better, and who keep you grounded. Look for those who value who you truly are, my beloved. not just those who flatter you. Seek my insight on who you let into your inner circle. When good things come, they can attract those who belong with you, but also those who would lead you astray. So keep near to me by speaking with me, my child. Hear the gentle direction I put inside you for each step. Live as if the future you long for is already real. Let how you speak, how you look, how you move, show this understanding, my precious one. Not with arrogance, but with a calm assurance, because your confidence comes not from the outcome, but from me, who holds everything. Let your life be a message of what is ahead. Let the joy inside you remain steady. Let your inner peace be the signal, my child. The ones who make the biggest difference against what is difficult are those who keep giving thanks even when there is no clear reason, who keep working even when they see no results yet, who stay focused and true even when things around them seem the same. Because they shift the unseen atmosphere, they question the usual ways of this world, and they clear a path for me to act, my child. You were not just called, you are needed. You were not just chosen, you have a task. You did not just get through, you were made ready for this specific time. Every simple step you took in following me has built a strong foundation, ready to hold what is coming, my beloved child. This is your time. Time to stand strong. Time to fully embrace who I made you to be. Time to help others find their way. Time to become what you asked me for, my child. Not by rushing or trying to scheme, but by staying constant. With a modest heart, a pure inner self, steady belief. Set aside for my plans and ready. So if you sense deep inside that these words are meant for you, do not let this time pass, my child. Respond. Say yes to it. Bring your life into step with it. Not just a passing thought, but something you do that shows what is coming. A signal sent upward. A reality you declare over yourself. Because this is more than just words ending. This is the doorway to something far greater than usual. My cherished child, I invite you closer now into a still place with me, exactly where you are. If what you have heard has resonated internally, if your heart quietly whispered, "This message is mine," then this specific moment is meant for you. We will talk together. A time for conversation, not just for receiving good things, but for finding where you truly belong, for releasing what holds you back, for giving up your own way, and for moving past limits. Create a calm space around you. Quiet the sounds. Close your eyes if it helps. Raise your hands if you feel moved. And let us be present together now, my child. My child, you have carried burdens others could not see. The weight pressed against your shoulders, yet you did not collapse. When resources ran low and options narrowed, you found ways to continue. Others spoke of impossibilities while you quietly worked toward solutions. There were moments when giving up seemed reasonable. Logic suggested retreat. Circumstances pointed toward failure. Yet something within you refused to surrender. You pressed forward when retreat would have been easier. I watched you choose integrity when no one was looking. You made difficult decisions in private moments. When shortcuts presented themselves, you chose the longer path because it was right. Your character was forged in these unseen choices. Now comes the harvest of what you planted in silence. The seeds of faithfulness you scattered during difficult seasons are ready to produce. What you built in darkness will emerge into light. The foundation you laid when no one was watching will support what is coming. This is not reward for performance. This is recognition of persistence. You continued when others stopped. You believed when others doubted. You invested when others withdrew. The difference was not in your circumstances, but in your response to them. That response has prepared you for what lies ahead. My precious child, You have journeyed with me through these words, your heart open, your spirit listening. I see your seeking. I know the hunger that brought you here, and I validate the confirmation you have felt. This is not the end of the message, my child, but the beginning of your response. You who have stayed to the end are part of a faithful remnant, those who truly hear my voice in a noisy world. Your journey has not been in isolation, and your response now connects you deeply with every other heart that hears and aligns. This moment is sacred, a divine timing for you to step fully into the unfolding I have prepared. As one who has already proven faithful in the hidden places, I call you now to a sacred assignment. Let this message resonate again within you, not just as inspiration, but as instruction. Express your heart's agreement with this message. Let your declaration be a signal in the spirit, a commitment that aligns your will with mine for this very season. Your willingness to support this sacred work enables these words of life to reach others who are walking in darkness, searching for light, enduring silence. Your engagement becomes a channel of my grace to the spiritually hungry masses. It is a holy exchange, your obedience opening doors for another's revelation. Receive the next message I have prepared, for there are deeper understandings waiting for you. Return for deeper understanding, for the unveiling continues. Know this, my beloved, you are not walking alone into this new season. My presence goes with you. My hand is upon you. May my peace, which surpasses all worldly understanding, guard your heart and your mind. May my favor rest upon you. Go forth, my cherished one, and walk in the fullness I have revealed.